The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
Had clients describe MDC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
The air around the enigmatic case of Shakur's untimely departure has grown thicker with tension as new whispers and revelations about the involvement of a legendary music mogul, Sean Diddy Combs, surface. Could one of the biggest names in the entertainment industry be connected to one of hip-hop's most infamous moments? The allegations are as jaw-dropping as they are controversial. And now, a former insider, Chopper, has stepped forward with claims that could shake the very foundation of this decades-old mystery.
Yes. He hated every bit of it. I remember one time, he was like, who did you grow up listening to? I'm like, Tupac. I ain't mentioned Biggie. That nigga ain't even talk to me for like 4 days after that. Everything with Pac, like, you couldn't say Pac was anything better than Biggie. You can't put them in the same realm or nothing.
Chopper, a former member of the rapper assembled group Day Band, recently sat down for an explosive interview where he didn't hold back on his thoughts about Diddy's alleged animosity towards Shakur. His words painted a picture of a man consumed by rivalry and bitterness. According to Chopper, Diddy harbored a deep-seated dislike for Tupac, one that extended far beyond professional competition. This wasn't just about music or success. It was personal. Chopper recounted a chilling moment when he mentioned Shakur as one of his musical inspirations during a conversation with Diddy. The mogul's reaction, nothing short of icy. Chopper revealed, "That man didn't talk to me for days after I brought up Shakur's name." The tension was palpable, a testament to the unspoken feud that seemed to linger even years after Shakur's passing.
Puffy out is because they trying to connect that Keefe D situation with Puffy. That's what I really think it is. Because if it came down to some sex trafficking, foolishness and all that, there are a buku chumped up charges they couldn't prove. I don't think they got no evidence. I think they trying to keep them in there to lock in that Keefe D. You heard me? That Keefe D situation with Puff. I think that's the only reason why he's still in jail right now.
This revelation, while shocking, is hardly the only thread in the tangled web of allegations surrounding Diddy. Chopper's interview went a step further, hinting at something much darker lurking beneath the surface. He suggested that Diddy's current legal troubles might be tied to an ongoing investigation into Shakur's case, an investigation that has gained renewed momentum with the arrest of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis.
Puff is not a dangerous person on the outside. They know if they let him out right now, he's going to be on house arrest. He's going to be a good boy. He f around and do all church videos and whatever. They know that already. That's not what they aiming for. They don't care about none of that. What they care about is they trying to connect Keefe D with Biggie. I mean, with Tupac and Diddy. I'm telling you, that's what I feel.
Keefe D, an alleged key player in the events of that fateful night in Las Vegas, has long claimed that Diddy played a pivotal role in orchestrating the attack on Tupac. Chopper speculated that the authorities might be working to connect the dots, linking Diddy not only to his own recent charges, but also to the unresolved mystery of Tupac's tragic end.
The only man currently facing murder charges in the case, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, claims that Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, paid for a hit on Tupac.
This theory gains even more traction when you consider Diddy's current predicament. The music mogul, once one of the most powerful figures in the industry, now finds himself entangled in a series of serious allegations that had landed him behind bars without bail. While the charges against him are unrelated to the Shakur case, Chopper believes there's a bigger picture at play. They're not letting him out because they're trying to piece it all together, he claimed, hinting at a broader investigation that could potentially tie Diddy to past events. It's a bold assertion, but one that aligns with the growing chorus of voices questioning Diddy's role in the hip-hop world's most enduring mystery.
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
Diddy's legal troubles have been front and center in the news, casting a long shadow over his once celebrated legacy. From allegations of misconduct to accusations of running elaborate schemes for personal gain, the charges against him are as serious as they are numerous. But it's the whispers about his connection to Shakur's case that have truly captivated the public's attention. Could it be that the same man who built an empire on chart-topping hits and larger-than-life parties is also linked to one of the darkest chapters in music history? The very thought is enough to send shockwaves through the industry.
You know, I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now.
Chopper's statements add fuel to the fire, weaving a narrative that's equal parts compelling and unsettling. He didn't shy away from addressing the elephant in the room, the long-standing rumors about Diddy's involvement in Shakur's case. For years, these rumors have swirled, fueled by cryptic statements, unverified claims, and the unresolved nature of the case itself. Chopper's interview, however, takes things a step further. He hinted at the existence of evidence that could potentially implicate Diddy, evidence that he claims the authorities are working to bring to light.
And ain't no other way they gonna keep you in there of, Diddy did this to me. Oh, Diddy did that to me. I'm suing him. Oh, we got enough evidence to... No, you don't. That's accusations. That's not factual, brother. You dig? So I feel like the actual factual thing that they're really trying to aim for is the Keefe D.
The mention of the FBI is significant, as it suggests a level of scrutiny that goes beyond mere speculation. For years, the case of Shakur's untimely departure has been a puzzle with missing pieces. Could it be that those pieces are finally coming together? Chopper's revelations, while unverified, hint at a broader investigation that could shed new light on what really happened in Las Vegas in 1996. It's a narrative that's as captivating as it is controversial, drawing in audiences who have long been fascinated by the mystery surrounding Shakur's legacy.
That's why they ain't gonna let him out. They would have let Keefe D out on that bail. Vegas got a little thing. They'll let you out on bail, but they got little restrictions of how you can get out. You dig? So they're gonna make sure your ass can't get out of jail. Trust me. So that's the only way I see that.
Diddy, for his part, has consistently denied any involvement in the events leading up to Shakur's passing. Back in 2008, when a report from a major publication suggested a link between him and the incident, Diddy was quick to issue a statement. "The story is a lie," he said at the time. "It is beyond ridiculous and completely false." He went on to assert that neither he nor the late Notorious B.I.G. had any knowledge of the attack. But as the years have gone by, those denials have done little to quell the rumors. If anything, the recent developments have only reignited speculation, with Chopper's interview serving as the latest chapter in a story that refuses to fade. What makes Chopper's claims particularly compelling is the context in which they're unfolding. The arrest of Keefe D in 2023 marked a turning point in the case, bringing renewed attention to the events of that night in Las Vegas. Keefe D's own statements over the years have been a mix of cryptic admissions and pointed accusations, with Diddy's name frequently mentioned. According to Keefe D, Diddy allegedly offered a significant sum to orchestrate the attack on Shakur, a claim that has been met with both skepticism and intrigue. Now, with Chopper's interview adding another layer to the narrative, the spotlight on Diddy has grown even brighter.
Right now, Davis is fighting for bail ahead of his trial, which he has pleaded not guilty for.
As Chopper sees it, the authorities are finally closing in on the truth. He theorized that Diddy's denied bail isn't just about his current legal troubles, but also about the potential connections to Shakur's case. They're keeping him in because they know there's more to the story, Chopper suggested. It's a bold claim, one that raises more questions than answers. Could the legal system be gearing up for a breakthrough in one of hip-hop's most infamous mysteries? Or is this just another chapter in the long-running saga of speculation and intrigue? Either way, the implications are enormous. If there's any truth to the allegations, it could forever change the way we view one of the biggest names in music. Diddy's legacy, already under intense scrutiny, would face an unprecedented reckoning. And for Shakur's family and fans, it could bring a sense of closure to a case that has haunted the hip-hop community for nearly 3 decades.
Now for what's trending in true crime, nearly 30 years after the death of legendary rapper Tupac Shakur, the man accused of his is now claiming that Sean Diddy Combs once ordered a hit on the rap icon. In a recent court filing, a 2009 interview between police and Dwayne Keefe D. Davis is making headlines yet.
But until more concrete evidence emerges, the story remains one of speculation and unanswered questions. Chopper's interview, while compelling, is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Still, it's a piece that has reignited public interest in the case, drawing attention to the unresolved nature of Shakur's passing and the allegations surrounding Diddy. As the investigation continues, all eyes are on the authorities to see whether these new revelations will lead to the truth or simply add another layer to the mystery. And for now, the world waits, captivated by the unfolding drama and the promise of answers that have eluded us for far too long. The story of Shakur's demise and the swirling allegations around Sean Diddy Combs take us into an era that's as iconic as it is controversial, the East Coast versus West Coast rap rivalry. This wasn't just a battle of beats or lyrics. It was a cultural war that defined the 1990s. And at its center were two of the most influential figures in hip-hop history, Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. with Diddy and Suge Knight fanning the flames in the background. But was this rivalry just a marketing play gone too far, or was it something deeper, something darker? And where does Diddy fit into it all? Let's unpack the chaos that unfolded and how it changed the music industry forever.
When the whole East-West thing started, we were caught off guard, and that broke my man's heart.
Back in the mid-90s, hip-hop was exploding in popularity. The West Coast had the swagger, with artists like Shakur, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg dominating the charts under the Death Row Records banner. Meanwhile, the East Coast, led by Bad Boy Records, was riding high on success of the Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie, whose groundbreaking debut album was a massive hit. On the surface, it might have seemed like healthy competition between coasts, but behind the scenes, the tensions were simmering, and it didn't take long for things to boil over.
It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our homicide section to get to where we are today.
The animosity between the two coasts can be traced back to one critical moment in 1994 when Shakur was ambushed and injured in a violent altercation at Quad Studios in New York. Tupac famously fingered Bad Boy Records and its affiliates, claiming they had prior knowledge of the attack, or worse, were involved in setting him up. According to Shakur, both Biggie and Diddy were present at the studio that night and acted suspiciously distant during the aftermath. In an interview with Vibe magazine, Shakur claimed, "Nobody approached me. Nobody looked at me. They just stood there like they were surprised, like they were caught off guard." That moment set the stage for what would become one of the most bitter rivalries in music history. While Diddy denied any involvement, Shakur's accusations drew a line in the sand. The release of Biggie's track Who Shot Yeah in the months following the incident only added fuel to the fire. Although Biggie claimed the song had nothing to do with Shakur, the timing was too perfect, or too suspicious, for Shakur and his supporters to believe otherwise. Shakur saw it as a direct taunt, a message from Bad Boy Records mocking him after his ordeal. And if there's one thing Shakur was known for, it was refusing to back down from a fight.
Prosecutors gonna glamorize a case. I've had cases, and I hadn't worked for Diddy for years. You understand? And the prosecutor's gonna say, Diddy former bodyguard. Get in the shootout. Diddy former bodyguard threatened a person's life or did this and did that.
When Tupac signed with Death Row Records in 1995 after being released from prison, the rivalry escalated to a whole new level. Suge Knight, the intimidating figurehead of Death Row, wasted no time taking shots at Diddy and Bad Boy. During the 1995 Source Awards, Suge delivered what has become one of the most infamous moments in hip-hop history. Standing on stage, Suge called out Diddy without naming him directly, saying, "Any artist out there that wants to stay a star and doesn't want their executive producer all up in the videos, all on the records, come to Death Row." It was a blatant jab at Diddy, who was known for his flashy presence in his artist music videos, and it sent the crowd into a frenzy.
He's the only witness that's tying Puff to the Pac thing. The only witness that's alive.
Diddy, for his part, tried to take the high road, at least publicly. When he took the stage later that night, he called for unity, saying all this East and West stuff needs to stop. But behind closed doors, the rivalry was anything but peaceful. Both labels fueled the tensions, whether through subliminal disses in their music or outright provocations in interviews. And as the battle lines were drawn, fans and artists alike were forced to pick sides. You were either Team Shakur or Team Biggie. There was no middle ground. But the rivalry wasn't just about music, it was personal. Shakur's anger toward Diddy and Biggie wasn't just rooted in business competition. It was fueled by betrayal, or at least what Shakur perceived as betrayal. In his scathing diss track, Hit 'Em Up, Shakur didn't just call out Biggie. He went after Diddy, Bad Boy Records, and anyone remotely associated with them. The track was raw, brutal, and unapologetic. Shakur didn't just want to win the battle. He wanted to humiliate his enemies. He even claimed to have been involved with Biggie's wife, Faith Evans, a statement that sent shockwaves through the industry. It wasn't just a diss track, it was a declaration of war.
They gotta come up with some kind of evidence.
As the rivalry grew, so did the stakes. The East Coast and West Coast weren't just battling for dominance in hip-hop, they were battling for cultural supremacy. Media outlets played a significant role in stoking the flames, publishing sensational headlines, and framing the feud as a modern-day gang war. And while Diddy and Suge Knight may not have been pulling the triggers, their rivalry set the tone for the chaos that followed. It was a toxic mix of ego, ambition, and street politics, and it was only a matter of time before things took a tragic turn. The tipping point came in September 1996 when Shakur was attacked in Las Vegas. The circumstances surrounding the incident remain murky, but one thing is clear: the fallout was immense. 6 months later, in March 1997, Biggie suffered a similar fate in Los Angeles. The two brightest stars of their generation were gone, and the hip-hop world was left reeling. But while the music lived on, the questions surrounding their final moments had never been answered.
Well, it's a cold case. It's been lingering for 27 years.
And this is where the rumors about Diddy's involvement come back into play. For years, conspiracy theories have circulated about who was behind the incidents. Some point to Suge Knight, who had his own reasons for wanting revenge. Others point to Diddy, citing unverified claims that he offered a significant sum to orchestrate an attack on Shakur. One of the most persistent theories involves Keefe D. Davis, who has openly claimed that he was involved in the night Shakur was a tactic. According to Keefe D, Diddy was the one who put the plan in motion, allegedly offering resources for the job to be carried out. While these claims have never been substantiated, they continue to haunt Diddy's legacy, casting a shadow over his meteoric rise to fame. But it wasn't just the music industry that was affected by the rivalry. The fallout extended far beyond the studio, influencing everything from fashion to film to social movements. The East Coast versus West Coast feud became a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of division that mirrored the broader societal tensions of the time. And even now, decades later, its impact can still be felt.
You heard about Diddy law firm breaking ties with him and Miami Beach taking his day away?
Well, all the things that happened to Diddy, and he losing friends, companies, cities, city names, city girls.
As for Diddy, his role in the rivalry remains a subject of intense debate. While he has always denied any involvement in the events surrounding Shakur and Biggie, the rumors refuse to go away. And with the recent arrest of Keefe D, those rumors have only gained more traction. Could the authorities finally be closing in on the truth? Or is this just another chapter in a story that has been clouded by speculation and misinformation?
Well, I certainly view everything he's saying with a lot of suspicion, right? I mean, he was in an interrogation in 2009 and offered this information up. And if he's truly involved in the killing of Tupac, he's looking to throw anything out there, to throw mirrors out there to deflect the accusations against him onto someone else.
What's clear is that the rivalry between East Coast and West Coast wasn't just about music. It was about power, influence, and the lengths people would go to protect their empires. For Diddy, it was a time of massive success, but also massive controversy. And as the investigations continue, the world is left to wonder what secrets are still waiting to be uncovered. Could the man who built one of the most successful empires in music also be connected to its darkest moments? Share your opinions, ask questions, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. Goodbye for now.